Many thanks, Gimba. In the Niger Professional Football League, Enyimba beat Akwa United 2-1 at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt. Mfom Udo put the Aba Elephants ahead from the penalty spot in the 9th minute. The Promise Keepers equalized in the dying moments of the first half with a goal from Hassan Babangida. Ikechukwu Binebu curled in a free kick in the 80th minute to give Enyimba maximum 3 points in the keenly contested encounter. Samson Siasia has resigned as the coach of Nigeria's under-23 football team because of what he describes as a disrespectful system. Siasia, the most decorated African coach at the Rio Olympics, having also won a silver medal in Beijing in 2008, claims to have gone unpaid for 5 months by the Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF. He says he has quit football in Nigeria after a turbulent and incredible campaign in Brazil. Marcus Rashford's late goal secured 3 points for the Red Devils, Manchester United, as Jose Mourinho's team beat newcomers Hull City in the English Premier League, making it 3 wins out of 3 games. Super Eagles forward Victor Moses got on the score sheet yet again as Chelsea continued their perfect start to the season with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Burnley at Stamford Bridge. Scott Dan's injury time equaliser gave Crystal Palace their first point of the season against Bournemouth. Ronald Koeman maintained his unbeaten start as Everton manager as his team defeated Stoke 1-0. Elsewhere, England international Jamie Vardy scored his first goal of the season as champions Leicester recorded their first win with a 2-1 victory over Swansea. Southampton and Sunderland drew 1-1 to remain in search of their first Premier League wins of the season. The Gunners, Arsenal, earned a 3-1 win at Watford, their first of the current campaign. FIFA has announced that video refereeing will be tested for the first time in an international match during the friendly between the Azzurri of Italy and the Le Bleu of France on September the 1st in Bari. An extra assistant referee on the sidelines will be able to communicate with the on-pitch referee during the game. The tests have the support of the IFAB, that's the body who govern the rules of the game. Video tests have been ongoing in the 3rd division of the United States Football League since July. Defending champion Novak Djokovic says he is currently being hampered by wrist injuries as he prepares for the US Open. Djokovic says his wrist has been causing some concerns in recent weeks. In the draw, the world number 1 was handed a first-round match against Poland's Jerzy Janowicz, a former Wimbledon semi-finalist.
Well, the wrist hasn't been in ideal state for the last 3.5 weeks, but I'm doing everything in my power with obviously the medical team to make sure that I'm as close to 100% as possible during the course of this tournament. Sometimes the time is what you need as an athlete, and because US Open is around the corner, I don't have too much time. So I try to compensate and I try to improvise as much as I can and find the best ways of getting myself properly ready.
China is facing a 1-year ban from weightlifting over repeated doping cases in a move which even threatens to stop some of the world's top athletes from competing internationally. The International Weightlifting Federation confirmed that 3 failed retests of drug samples from the 2008 Beijing Olympics will lead to China's automatic ban if the cases are proven and the athletes in question disqualified by the IOC. China is the world's dominant country in weightlifting, having topped the medal table at every Olympics since 2000. And that's a wrap in sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The news will continue shortly.
Help is on the way for the families of 11 soldiers that were ambushed and killed by militants during a military operation in Boso local government area of Niger State last month. The state governor, Abubakar Bello, has promised to assist the affected people to alleviate their sufferings. Governor Bello has also pledged his administration's support for the Nigerian army in its efforts to combat insurgency and crimes in the state. In stories outside of Nigeria now, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has pledged $30 billion in public and private support for infrastructure development in Africa. Mr. Abe, who was speaking at the 6th Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development, explains that the package will be spread over a 3-year period and includes $10 billion for infrastructure projects to be executed through the African Development Bank. The $30 billion announced today is in addition to an earlier $32 billion already announced in 2013. The Tunisian parliament has voted to approve a unitary government, which will take office in the next few days. The new government, led by Prime Minister-designate Youssef Chahed, is backed by 167 members of the 217-seat parliament and includes Islamists, leftists, unionists and independents. Youssef Chahed will become Tunisia's youngest prime minister since the country's independence from France in 1956. However, Mr. Chahed has warned the parliament that an austerity program with public sector job cuts and tax rises would be inevitable if Tunisia does not overcome its economic difficulties. Italians are observing a day of national mourning for the almost 300 people who lost their lives when a powerful earthquake struck. Prime Minister Matteo Renzi attended state funerals today for victims from Acquetta, one of the worst hit towns. Affected areas are in a state of emergency, and Mr. Matteo has pledged €50 million in funding to rebuild communities there. The official death toll stands at 278, with no survivors found since search and rescue began. However, authorities say that they will continue to search until they are certain everyone is accounted for. And finally tonight, guess who is in town? It's U2 rock group lead singer and One Campaign co-founder Bono. The rock star and activist is joining some Nigerian acts and other important personalities at the George Hotel in Ikoyi, Lagos, at a reception by the Make Nigeria Stronger campaign. The event is to celebrate the successes so far achieved already by the campaign, which is being run by the group One in partnership with some Nigerian civil society organizations. It is an advocacy organization, though, taking action and acting as a pressure group to end extreme poverty and preventable diseases, particularly in Africa. The Make Nigeria Stronger campaign also focuses on delivering support to northeast Nigeria, where about 2.4 million people are in need. And the main news again. The Nigerian army today launched a special operation aimed at protecting lives and putting an end to the destruction of oil and gas facilities in the Niger Delta. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, told journalists at the event that the army does not want to be taken unawares. Also today, President Muhammadu Buhari addressed the 6th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, holding in Nairobi, Kenya, and promised full rehabilitation of internally displaced persons in the northeast. And over 300 homes in some communities in Kaduna State were today taken over by floods following heavy rainfall, leaving many homes destroyed and many more people homeless. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. On behalf of everyone here, have a splendid night rest. Good night.